Hello everybody, Attack Power here with another deck building video here for Steel Division 2 with Panzerdivision Tatra. Let's dive right in here. This is it's not that old. I mean, it's old, but it's not like one of the oldest divisions out there by any stretch. This was a really strong division at one point. Right now, I'd probably say it sits around like a high B tier, maybe a low A tier, but probably more in the high B tier spots because it does have some pretty glaring weaknesses. In terms of income, I definitely play this one more aggressively. This definitely sits in a more Vanguard Maverick sort of build. It doesn't have, I don't want to say it has no tools to go along, but its tools definitely lean towards going a little bit more aggressively, and where you have weaknesses definitely can come to bite you in the butt if the game goes too long for you. So let's dive right in here. The Recon tab. Not a lot of choices here, but what you got are good choices. We have the SPW 222 with the off-clutter here. Because, you know, the SPW is great. Does the autocannon thing. It's everything you want in the world. Then we have the SPW 231 here. Just a couple more autocannon stuff. What we're not taking, motorcycle, spare troop. The Panzer III, I wouldn't mind fitting in. Just couldn't find any room for it. It's possible I might jimmy stuff as we go along here, you know, as my thoughts change. But the Panzer III is just not in a great spot right now, in my opinion. It's overcosted as a light tank and not strong enough to brawl with medium tanks. So it oftentimes trades down or doesn't trade at all. So it's just like it's just in a really weird spot. Like if medium tanks get more expensive or light tanks get more, you know, if anything around it gets nerfed, this can become very good again. But I just don't think the Panzer III is in a really strong spot. Now, is it a bad unit? No. I'm not standing here saying never take the Panzer III. I would honestly take it here probably in some, you know, capacity if I could fit it. Just don't expect this unit to really surprise you. Unfortunately, it often does not. You know, the APCR makes it look like it's really strong, but the problem is you need 4 pens to kill a medium tank with this. That doesn't happen very often, even with the APCR chance. You know, the normal AP shells are solid. High accuracy, all that good stuff. The problem is it just dies sooner. You know, it just loses out most of the time. I will say Panzer IIIs are actually better when you are in the mirror. When you're playing Axis, like against the Axis, Panzer IVs do not trade very well with Panzer IIIs because this can definitely pen a Panzer IV pretty consistently, you know, at a 1,000-meter range. And, you know, so this a lot of times will actually trade with a Panzer IV, and then that feels really good. But when you're up against Allied armor, which has a little bit more armor, generally speaking, you know, Sherman's T-3476s, this does not pen as consistently and usually just dies. So that's why I'm not a consistent fan of these days. Certainly have their place. If there's anything I'd change, I would consider moving the Aufkladde to B phase to get more SPWs. That's probably the only thing I would change. Do you need more? Arguable. You have 4 in A phase. If you do that, you have 8 in B phase and 4 in A phase. There is a cap to how many points you have in B phase to spend. Like, you get a lot. But do you want to be spending it on armored cars? That's the question. My answer was no. You still have 8 of these. So, yeah. Infantry tab. This used to be a very strong and very scary infantry tab. But when the disheartened nerfs came around, it lost a lot of its edge. It's got a lot of disheartened troops. When you could use these effectively, this was a very spammy and obnoxious infantry tab to go up against. Now that doesn't really work anymore, the infantry do have some cool stuff, but it's not nearly as scary anymore. So we have the Pioneer MG26, which is a nice Pioneer unit. It's only 20 points. You get a downgrade in the LMG, but who cares? Like, that's not what you're using it for anyway. Like, I'm not getting a Pioneer, generally speaking, to like, oh, it's MG34 is so good. Like, it's not. It's whatever. Downgrading it slightly to actually get better at CQC. Like, this now is better at CQC because this is an automatic rifle. Shoots at infantry in the woods. That's actually an upgrade, in my opinion. So I get a 5% price buff and a better actual CQC weapon. I'm not seeing the downside here. So 20 points, great unit. Pioneer Fear, it's a leader. I kicked around taking the Landesfuhrer instead, mostly because, and usually, you know, I don't lean towards that because 5 points is 5 points. I actually like the grenade on the Pioneer Fear, generally speaking. I like the faster transport. It can come in generally. I don't have enough, but, you know, usually. The Landeswehr itself is not like a strong unit. Like it isn't, but it is 9-man. Like it has 5 more guys in it. Makes it a lot more survivable, a lot more sticky that the opponent has to work their way through this unit. Even as I say it, I'll switch it out. I'm like always a Pioneer Sphere guy, but let's mix it up here. Take some Landeswehr. I'm not saying this unit should be fighting. It can do a little bit. You know, if it's like the 3rd unit back and it's kind of like shooting after, you know, then great, does that. But I would not be actively trying to get this unit involved in combat. You won't like the result. The result will be poor, and it will die. Sorry, work has started back up at school, and my voice is tired. A lot more tired than it has been in a while. Now, we have the Panzergren MG26. I have a soft spot for this unit. I'm not going to lie. I kind of like low-key love it just because I like the MG26. I don't know what it is. It's the same as the, basically the same as the weapon that Orochi already have. So I like it. It's an automatic rifle. It's a solid infantry squad. It's got an AT grenade, which is a nice bonus. It's got higher availability, which is another nice bonus. It just has a lot of little bonuses going for it. It's 25 points, not 30, like regular Panzergrens are. Now, obviously, this hits nowhere near as hard as a Panzergren. You know, like an actual Panzergren. They're not interchangeable. But, you know, I like the higher availability here. I like the cheaper price for A phase, so you can get them out. It gives you a nice number of infantry here in A phase. And I just think these, I mean, before I had a Landesschützen in here, for 4 more Landesschützen, these guys suck. And they don't on paper, but in practice, because of this dishearten, they kind of suck. And these guys don't. Like, it's a double LMG unit. It does something okay. You know, it's doing something all right, at least. So I do think these are worth it. B phase, we have the Sturm Pioneer. Panzergren, the actual Panzergren. Panzerfaust here with the MG42s and such. Then we have an SS Sturm Grenadier. Now, currently double vetted. I think because of their 30-point price, which is not cheap, I don't see me calling 12 of these in. Double vet makes them a lot more dangerous than single vet. Allows them to get a triple vet and be really, really dangerous. You want that extra veterancy. You're in Maverick. You're trying to be a little more aggressive. The extra veterancy will make a difference at the end of the day. Remember, MP44s are getting buffed whenever the patch comes out. I know they have all their energies going into South Tag or whatever it's called for Warno. Yeah, so this will get a buff too. And this unit is fine the way it is. Like, double MG42 actually does put out a nice bit of damage. So, solid unit. Not the best or anything, but a solid unit. And then C phase, we have another Panzergren MG26. You actually get like tons of these. You get 3, which is really cool. You know, just filling out. Higher availability is nice, and C phase lets you vet them for 1, so you actually get like veterancy across the board. And AT capability this whole time. You know, the grenade's not incredible, but it's you can't just drive into a town, and that's all you're really asking for. Things were not taken. Ersatztruppen, horrible, have been horrible, have essentially always been horrible, and are now so god-awful, I just never touch these. Landesschützen. This is probably the one I would consider, if I considered any of these. The LMG is fine. It's a below-average LMG, but it does something. It's an 11-man squad. You get 12 of them in A, 24 in B, 30, the high disheartened availability. Again, for what it is, it's fine. It's just not winning you any games. This unit just doesn't win anything. That's just my argument with all of these disheartened troops. They don't win anything. They're just there. And they just kind of piss points away, in my opinion. I don't see them ever doing much at all. They're so easily beat these days. And they should be. They're disheartened. But, like, they're just so very easily beat. They don't serve much of a role, I don't think. The SS Schupo, it's the same unit with technically a worse LMG. And it's smaller. But it does get the security trait, I guess, so it sees better. I don't think that makes it that much significantly better. The Volkssturm is the other one I'd honestly consider. It would be between these two. Reasons being, the Volkssturm have an 18 availability in A phase. That is a lot. Like, that gives you a nice blob of infantry to just throw at stuff. Again, it's not a good blob. It's got no LMG. The Panzerfaust is nice. Makes them, a little bit more annoying to deal with when they're standing around places. The straight pull rifle technically makes them fire a tiny bit faster, but the difference is negligible. So, yeah, it's the only other one I would really consider. Panzergren, no. No. I would honestly just take one of these. I'd take the Volkssturm before I take a regular Grenadier here. Regular Grenadiers are so... They're so, like, especially the Panzerfaust, because they have even lower availability. They're so like, not good. Like, they really are not any good. And we talked about the leaders already. So that's what the infantry tab looks like. We have 74 infantry. That's a pretty good number. Like, it's a pretty high number for a Maverick deck. But a lot of it's on the cheaper side at the 25 point, like, cost mark, which is nice. A couple 20 pointers in there. You know, so I think it's the right number. Tank tab. You got a very interesting mix of stuff here. This tank tab is actually pretty good at the end of the day. You have an extremely strong unit here in the Panzer 38T. Now, you may be lolling to yourself, how is this an extremely strong unit? It's 20-point line tank. This thing is insane. For 20 points, you get a gun that fires 12 rounds a minute, forced vet 1. I'm not even going to vet it twice. I want more of them. I don't want less. They actually give this higher availability recently. It doesn't miss much. You know, it's got pretty high accuracy. It's got 1,000-meter range. Nothing crazy, but it's solid. Got a little LMG on it. And this thing just swarms stuff. Like, seriously. All light armor gets eviscerated by this little tank. And light armor is so important. And at 20 points, this is actually almost cheaper than a lot of light armor. This beats up Stuarts. It does it all. It's just armor cars. Beware. It's a great little unit. Call 2 or 3 at a time in an area. And sometimes they even overwhelm a medium tank. Like 70 millimeters of penetration does pen a medium tank from time to time. Not consistently, but it does pick it up from time to time. So, love this unit. Absolute monster. Honestly, one of the things that makes this deck really strong actually is spamming these out in A phase. Here's the Panzer III. We are taking one, the Panzer IIIL. The Panzer IIIM is better because it's got the Recon, but this is 5 points less. And has a really nice availability curve that you can have double vet. You know, 5 of them in A phase. That is a lot. And at double veterancy, they're firing 10 rounds a minute. You know, maybe they're edging out a medium tank from time to time. So at 40 points, this feels better. It's the problem with the Panzer IIIM. The Recon is nice, but it's 5 points more and the availability is quite low, and you cannot vet them as aggressively. Then we have the Panzer IV-H, also double vet. It's a Panzer IV. Stug 3 in B phase, and our singular card of Tiger Ease here. I do want a little bit of 2K. And, you know, as much as I gripe about the Tiger, I like playing it. It still serves a role for some 2K support and stuff, and a big tank that enemies have to work their way through. A lot of veterancy here. You know, our points are limited. We're trying to win fast. Veterancy is important. Things we're not taking, I'm not taking a single Panzer IV. That's so useless. And taking 2 Stug 3s is not better than just taking double vetted Panzer IV for the extra leader. It's not necessary. Support tab. It's a nice mix of stuff. Nothing incredibly strong, but we have the Feldjäger here. Got the sniper. That's what we're really bringing this in for, is the sniper. 4 MP44s, though, is, you know, more than not 4 MP44s. Does have the discipline trait. If we were taking any dishearten, that'd be nice. We're not. Flammenwerfer, the IG-18, MG-42, and some ammo. Things we're not taking. The regular security troop, useless. The 50mm mortar that doesn't have much range, not very useful. Although, you know, if I was really good with it, I would take it. I just suck with it, so. The Stug 3E. Ha 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 ha. Ha. Here's the thing, okay? I want to fit this unit. It is 20 points for an actually well-armored, pretty solid tank with 2.2 damage on its assault gun. You know what? I'd already changed my mind. Stug 3, I just talked myself into it. This is really, like, cheap. It's hard not to take this. It's more light armor counter. Once in a while, it'll kill a medium tank, and that's awesome for 20 freaking points. Most of the time, it will not. Don't expect that from it. But the fact is, if it does, kudos to you. Most of the time, it's just a mobile HE gun, and that's honestly pretty darn good. And for 20 points, it's so low risk. Like, it's lower risk than this, and it does way more than the IG-18. The only thing it does not do is hide in the woods. And while that's really important, I think 20 points for a tank is too hard to pass up. That was some buff recently that I did not notice. Anything else we're not taking? Commander. Don't need one. We're bringing a lot of natural veterancy on our units. Our regular leaders will get them all the way up to 3 vet in a lot of cases. AT tab. This is one of the big strengths of the deck. You have a lot of good choices here. You can't fit it all, and it kind of sucks, honestly. We have Panzerschrecks. I really don't leave home without them. You're kind of silly if you don't bring Panzerschrecks or, bazookas or whatever. Pack 37, 47 mil. I love this little gun. 90 millimeters of penetration is great. Fires a whopping 17 rounds a minute, only 30 points, 1,250 meter range, 5 damage, so it only needs 2 pens. This is honestly, like, low-key insane. Like, it really is. Because it fires so fast, like, Axis, like, Panzer IV's wrecked. Shug 3s, you're going to struggle a little bit, but the fact is you're firing 2 to 3 rounds for every one of their rounds. That's pretty nuts. And 90 millimeters does pen. Like, that's penetration on a Shug 3. So, like, you are laying into them. You're going to get some pens eventually, and it's going to die. And you only need 2 because it does 5 damage, which is really awesome. Allied armor, T-34 76s, the low armored ones, get absolutely eaten alive by this. The higher armor ones, it's the same thing with the Stug. 90 millimeters of armor, 90 millimeters of pen. It's going to kill it eventually. Sherman, same thing. Same idea. It's going to get through. For 30 points, this thing really overperforms. I don't think you don't take this. I think that's insane not to. Like, your other options, like the Pack 36, the difference here is the Pack 36 gets the heat shell, the rocket, but 9 out of 10 times the rocket misses anyway. And the AP shell is significantly worse. It's still good. Like, this is still a good unit. I love the Pack 36, especially it's forced double vet and you still get 6. But I'm telling you, the damage, the penetration increase here, it just makes this so deadly. And this also gets up 250 meter roar range. That's another thing. When you look at this, that's another difference there. It's personal preference. I think this ends up performing better overall, despite the bonuses the Pack 36 have. But I do love the Pack 36. FK 288. This is a great support weapon. It's a ZIS 3, but it has radio. It's pretty nuts, actually. This is just a good, solid unit. Then with the Panzer 38T, the Hetzer. Hetzer's gonna Hetz. This unit looks great on paper, and I love it on paper. Every time in game, I just don't feel like it performs up to what the paper tells me it should. Like, this should bounce like almost all allied medium armor. And yet Shermans and T-34s pen this thing all the frickin' time. I don't understand, to be honest with you. I really do not. But I digress. Still a good unit. 100% can trade up. Should brick wall allied armor, generally speaking. Pack 40 in B phase, it's a Pack 40. It does Pack 40 things, And then a Jagdpanzer IV, and I'm actually even double vetting it here. I just don't see me calling in more than 2 of these things, along with the 2 Tigers, which perform a similar function and have very similar stats at the end of the day. The double vet makes this so much more dangerous. I just think you don't need 2 more. I'll be honest with you. As much as I love the Jagdpanzer IV, the right choice here, even like in my heart, I'm like dying to make this 1 vet to get 4 of them. But the truth is the right choice is to keep it double vet and get that beautiful veterancy bonus. Things we're not taking. PZB-39, worst AT rifle in the game. Never take it. Pack 36 we talked about. It's a great unit. Would use it if I could fit it. I just don't like it over the Pack 37. Martyr 3M, another great unit. Really trades well. Usually trades up because it can kill medium tanks that it costs way more than it. So this is a great unit. Just couldn't fit it. I think I like the Hetzer more personally. Another Jagdpanzer IV card. Always. Sign me up for more all the time. Couldn't fit it. Sad face. Maybe I shouldn't be playing the Hetzer. Maybe the Jagdpanzer IV is just better. It is. Let's be real with ourselves, guys. The Jagdpanzer IV is better. It's got way more armor. Like, it actually bounces everything. The gun is the same thing. It just doesn't have the APCR, but you're not using the APCR that often anyway. The only difference, the Jagdpanzer 38T has more availability. It's 15 points less. I'm going to leave the Hetzer in because I like it. I'm not saying I think that's the right choice. Then we have the Pack 43 Krupp. Now, yes, the Pack 43 is fun. Very deadly. If you're in a tournament game and you know your opponent has IS-2s or King Tigers, by all means, bring this unit. But the fact of the matter is, it's A-phase locked. It's extremely killable. Like, anyone sees this, it's basically dead on the spot. It will be bombed, it will be RD'd, it will be killed. So, it ends up being a 105-point waste of points, in my opinion, 90% of the time. I wouldn't. Anti-air, big weakness of this deck. This is absolute trash. We have flak reeling, which is not trash. It's great, but it's A phase lock. That sucks. And then B phase, we are forced to take a flak 88. Y'all know how I feel about this. This is brutal. Move your flak reeling a lot. It's not even SDK of Z. Like, it doesn't even move well. It's rough, guys. It's rough. This is a very rough AA tab. But air divisions can bully you so hard. You have to be very careful. Like, if you come up against a division that has a good air tab, you got to push really hard so they can't invest into their air force. Like, if you start seeing planes going up, you better be attacking the crap out of them because they will beat you in the long game. This AA will die. The 88's insta-die. The flak reeling will be caught eventually, and you will be absolutely effed because you don't even really have many fighters to work with. So there's a big issue in why this division can't really play a long game. Arty tab. It's got some fun choices. There's some very good units here. We have the Verframen. Very solid. Throws down the big boomies. Remember to get as close as you can, honestly. Like 1,500 meter range, phenomenal. Maximum 2,200 meter range, it's not great anymore. But it's still good. Like, it still does its thing. Panzerdivision, I want my leaders. Not leave my leaders at home, okay? And finally, the K35-105. This thing is insane. One of the best arty pieces in the game by a country mile. It fires extremely fast. It is accurate and super deadly. Seriously. If this unit is in your arty tab, you better be taking it. It overperforms almost every other piece of artillery. Honestly, at every price point. It's absolutely nuts. There are a couple units like this in the game. There's like the Romanian one too. That's absolutely insane. This falls into the category of absolutely broken good arty. Take it. Things we're not taking. The Beobachter, the 81mm mortar, this 100mm cannon, which is not bad. Honestly, if I had more arty space, like if I wanted to go all arty, I'd probably take this. 6 rounds a minute for 60 points. It's essentially infinite range. It's got radio. It does a lot of things, but it is pretty inaccurate. This is always bad. The LEFH-18 is terrible, always. Oh, the Panzerwerfer. I want this unit to be good so bad, and it so is not. Why attack power? It's a Nebelwerfer with more rockets. You're right, random commenter, it is. But unfortunately, it fires slower than a Nebelwerfer and is less accurate. Therefore, it ends up sucking balls. And you're locked to just one of them. We've talked about it many times in the past. You really need 2 Nebels to be any good. So, sadly, Nebelwerfer not going with us. And finally, the 150mm. It's a good gun. I just wouldn't take it over this 105 because this thing is actually insane. Air tab. It is loaded up. It's not actually that good, unfortunately. We have the Focke-Wulf 189 A2 with its bombs, which is a nice recon plane for the open of the game. You know, quick catch something out. Really nice if you can like kill a support gun or something really quick before they can scare it off. Give you all that beautiful reconning. We have the Ju-87 with its 500 kilogram bomb. This is a great plane. Medium resilience now. Absolutely great choice to force your opponent to invest in some AA and stuff. Otherwise, this thing absolutely wrecks them. Then we have your terrible fighter, the BF-109 G2. What can I say? It's not a very good fighter. It just isn't. It's fast. I'll give it that. It moves. But it's made of paper at bad resilience. Its loadout is weak, to say the least. Like, it really just doesn't do a lot of damage. And yeah, kind of sucks. But it's your only fighter. But attack power, right? There's another one. That was somehow even worse. Then we have the HE-111. It's fine. It's not a great bomber, I'll be honest with you. Yes, good stats. Very good resilience. You know, a solid bomb loadout with 8 of the 250 kilogram bombs. The speed is not great. It's not terrible either. But it's 120 points, and you only get 2 of them in B phase. So not a great availability, not a great cost. A very mid bomber, if I would actually say a little bit below mid. Things we're not taking. The Focke-Wulf 58, too slow, bad resilience, and I have a better recon right here. DO-217, unfortunately, all ground attack planes are very meh. This thing takes about a minute to actually like re-engage. Like, it'll do one run, it'll fly around the map for about a minute and a half until it can actually get another gun run down. It's pretty is pretty bad. I'll be honest with you. I want it to be good. It looks like it should be. It's very good resilience, 450 kilometers an hour, half decent load. It doesn't do it, guys. We already have some Focke-Wulfs. Ju-88, G1. Ooh, that's nice. That's a much better loadout. Very good resilience. Only 65 points. That looks great, except this thing will never get on the back of any plane ever. Unless your opponent flies directly at this piece of crap, you will not shoot a plane down with it. Like, that you won't. I'm telling you now, this thing will not shoot something down unless someone flies directly at you with a bad resilience plane. This is trash. Don't use it. Me-410. This is even more exciting. This thing is cool. A lot of guns. Look at it. 30 mil cannons. It's way cooler than the DO-217. It's way faster. Only has medium resilience. It is also 25 points more. Still bad, unfortunately. Still, as you can see, it says worst. Agility, worst. Again, agility doesn't actually refer to turning radius, but it feels like it has some connection. Fact is, it says the worst. And this is. This will do one gun run, fly around for 5 minutes, and do nothing else. Not very good. And then we have more HE-111s. I'm not sure how many of these things they conceive of you bringing, because that would be insane to bring 3 cards of these, but yeah. Panzerdivision Tatra. A neglected division, I would say. I think it still has a lot of explosive power. It can definitely push. It's got light armor. It's got all the things that you need. The issue is really easy to bully in the air. If you're not aggressive enough and your opponent has any time to build up an air force, you're probably effed overall. If you guys enjoyed this, smash that like button, subscribe, check out the Patreon link down below. Thank you to everyone who's already there supporting me. It really does help me out a lot. Thanks a bunch, everyone, and have a fantastic day.